What's going on, guys? I'm Brax and welcome to the channel. Here in New Jersey, I own and operate a home improvement and handyman service company. Today we're going to be going over my door repair and installation kit. Alright guys, jumping into the video, you see two bags here. If you're familiar with my previous videos, the link will be above. This is my EDC, my everyday carry. I just added this a couple months ago. What is it? MP2 by Vito, same brand as the bag. Literally just loaded up with a few tools, all my little hand tools I'm using for any particular job. I loaded up on here. If you guys, want a separate video about this, just let me know. Leave a comment below and I'll do a video for you guys. I love this guy so far. I have my M18 hanging on the outside. I'll get more into that. Usually my drill and my drill driver, they ride inside the bag, but this is a little too big. This is a planer. I have Milwaukee because, I'm in that platform already. I got it aftermarket, so I'm not sure if it's missing any parts, but for what it is, it does the job. So I use this as an instance. If the door I bought was 80 inches, but to say the doorway is about 78. So you got to shave off an inch or two just so it could float and have a nice gap at the top and the bottom. This is when this comes into play. It has dials up here where you can literally gauge how much you want to take off of it. And the blade down at the bottom right here comes down or comes out and it propels. That blade literally gets to working and it shaves down the door. I'll shave a couple inches down and then sand it as well. Then depending on if it's a bathroom, you want to also seal it again. Most doors come painted, so you want to paint around it so that you don't cause the door to have moisture and start to expand. This is of course if you're dealing with a hollow door where it has about maybe an inch or two of framing, these thin pieces of wood that go around and the door is hollow. If you're dealing with a solid wood door, you won't have to worry about that. If you're dealing with a metal door, you can't use this. Pretty much one shot, you better make sure you get the right size handy. If it's an instance where we have a solid wood door and we have to shave off maybe 2 inches, that's when we'll bring out a table saw. The table saw I'm using is a DeWalt corded. So my partner, his father donated his table saw. He's been in contracting for about 40 plus years. So he has a really decent tool collection. So he could afford to lend us one. I'm actually thinking about getting a Milwaukee just because it's more portable, it's smaller. Our hair is really good, about 40 pounds. So if you've used it or you own it, leave a comment below, let me know what you think and if it's worth me investing in. The next thing you have to worry about if you're installing the door will be the hinges. So for that, I have the Milwaukee router. Cool guy, I ride it with the 3.0 just because it's slim. You don't really need that much of a big battery on it. You don't want it to be too heavy. And the blade is either by Dimmable or Bosch. I haven't changed this blade out since I got it, so I can't even remember what it was or what brand, but either one, they're good. They're in the same section in Home Depot. So I accompany this with this Ryobi hinge template. So my thing with tools is that I always go for the best value just because it's longevity and it's an investment. If you're making money off of something, you want to invest in your equipment. And when it's needed, I do. I have the Milwaukee router. It's good, compact, and I'm within the same platform. Because as you can see, this one is marred up from user errors sometime, or maybe the router might just jump, but it's plastic. It's right in the big box store. You can replace it. Router goes into play like this, and that's what sometimes it causes it to jump. But another instance, Ryobi makes one of these as well. This literally goes on the door, and it's a template for the doorknobs as well as the latch. So I went with the Milwaukee, not because of the brand, but because of the value what comes with it. I'll put this bag to the side, and it goes into the smaller compartment bag. But this is why I went with the Milwaukee. You're gonna get this arbor, which fits perfectly in here. And that is the average size for a doorknob. This is, I believe, it's a 2 1/8. It's perfect, good quality. I mean, you can see this one is very used, but it gets the job done. So the value in buying this kit is that I'm getting bulldozer blades that I can use for other different applications as well. And it comes with the 2 1/8. You spin that off, and then it's the 1 inch, which is for the latch. Now, the reason why I'm riding the Milwaukee 18 volt instead of the 12, and I'll mention that I'm using my Surge Impact. I only need, minimal power just for any of the fastening portions of the job, so I just used the M8, the M12. There's no reason for the M18. But when in the instance where I'm drilling the hole in the door, whether it's hollow, solid, or metal, pull out the 18 volt. I'm going through it fluently, and it's going to give me a cleaner cut. Got through a lot of jobs quick with this setup. Next is if I'm popping the door off. Again, Ryobi. I use this accompanied by my little hammer I keep in my EDC. It is a little marred up, but it's still getting the job done. It's literally called a hinge pin remover or installer. Names right there. Then if we're going into doing the latch plate, Ryobi again has a template where you slide it on the side of the door, use your hammer, you strike right here, literally says strike here, and it imprints the where the latch goes. It looks similar to this, but it imprints that so that the latch can pop up that hole that you already pre-made with your doorknob template. Then you switch it over to this side and it carves out the little divot. Now I'm not going to say every time it's perfect, but it is a good way to get started with it. So I use this 3/4 chisel just so I could get in the little divot I made and clean it up. Sometimes I may not need it, other times I do. Yeah, Buck Bros, you can get this at Home Depot if it gets the job done, and it's perfect for chiseling out that imprint that you've already done. Next, this gives you a clean hole right into the latch. So for instance right here, you're gonna get right in there. You drill that in there so you're gonna have a clean center hole each time. So if we're repairing, and again, instead of, before we shave the door down, maybe we might need to, just check the hinges. That's the first thing I'll do. If the hinge hole is too big, so the screw is loose, I'll back the screw out, put an anchor in there so it's a tight fit, and that sometimes fixes up the door rubbing. If that doesn't work, then we have these little wooden plugs. Just hammer that in, start a completely new hole or piece of wood for the screw to catch. So I keep a couple of those in there, a few extra screws. Each kit should come with some screws, but just in case they don't, I'll have them with me. And that is pretty much my door setup. This is how I install and repair doors. As I mentioned, I'll use this. So I'm on a move, sliding a few of these in here, just so I'm not going back to the bag repeatedly. I already know what I'm using. It's no surprise, it's the same setup every time. That's pretty much what else. I may have a screwdriver in here just to screw it in if I don't want to use a drill. But that's how that would look on a job, and it literally slides in your pocket. Sorry, I don't know if you can see it, but it'll slide right in your pocket. And that's it, guys. As always, guys, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. And if you're new or old, be sure to leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about the video and any advice on how I can make better videos or just be a better contractor altogether. Peace.